Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. If you're watching with us live or later, we are so happy that you are here. It's such a joy to be able to be together to talk about this amazing topic that is the practice of the gospel at home. I am Bernadette Leal, and I am a member of Sembradores de Luz. And today we are here to share what what it is. What is it? What is the gospel at home? How do we do it? What why is it so important? Why we talk so much about it? Well, if you have questions, don't worry. We are here to help you. We will have 9 lives about that. We will talk how to do it, the family, where, the steps, spiritually, how we feel about it. So come with us. Today is our first one, and we are so excited to have two guests. And I will introduce these ladies. By the way, we know each other. We work together in symposiums, and I am so happy to see them and their smiling faces today. We will just chat. So, today here, I'll see my papers. I will introduce Michelle. And by the way, they are in Maryland. That's the good thing about meeting online. I'm here in California. They are in Maryland. And you are where you are, and we are so happy you are here. Michelle Souto. She's been living in the USA for 24 years. She has also lived with her family in Europe, in Africa. I didn't know that.
Yep.
And she holds a degree in speech and hearing pathology and in early child education. Currently, she teaches 3 and 4 year olds and coordinates the Family, Children, and Youth Spirits Education Program at the Allan Kardec Spirit Society of Maryland. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Bernadette. Hi, Heloisa. Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here with us.
We are so happy you are here. How
Thank you.
exciting!
Yes, indeed.
And now we have Eloisa Grimwood. Heloisa has been living in USA for 48 years, and she has been a spiritist all her life. Yeah. She is a member and she volunteers at the Allan Kardec Spirit Society of Maryland for the past 21 years, 18 of those happily working for Jesus with the children and youth spiritist education. She's a proud mother of two grown children and a grandmother, Vova, of Brandon, who is the light of her life. I know I'm a grandma too. And I can't even describe the joy of having this baby, this human, this spirit right here, and how responsible we are, right? But it's okay, we can spoil them a little bit, right? Michelle, do you have any grandkid yet?
No, not yet. So don't make me jealous, ladies.
That's
Because I already told my kids I was a pretty strict mom. So when I become grandma, that's it. I'm going to spoil them.
yep, yeah, and lots of
Oh,
kisses.
well, if we forget our responsibility as educators, even as grandmas, we are still being educators of these spirits. So,
Yeah, and the good thing about being a grandma is that we tell our children, and you see, I told you, Mom, I did that. I'm sorry. Go, yep. Which
mhm.
brings to our topic the importance of family, how we educate our children, what we do at home. Home is the foundation of everything, which is about our topic, the gospel at home. But what is the gospel at home? I'm not going to spoil. We will have a lot of things to talk about in this 9 series. But if you just look at the title, The Gospel at Home, yes, we will read and talk about the gospel at home. And there's nothing better than where we are right now. I'm at home. And we are all, Heloisa is at home, Michelle at home. I've been doing the gospel at home for 30 years. And I know the difference that it made in my life. But I was always wondering, where did it come from? I was just told and explained how to do, and I loved. But just recently, I found out where it started. And Louisa, can you tell us where did
De-
it start?
Definitely. And before I go, I just want to say how happy I am to be here with you all of you, and to be able to participate in this thing was very unexpected, and
Uh-huh.
was a challenge for me, but I'm here. Of course, the gospel home is not something new. It started back 2,000 years ago, the time that Jesus walked the earth.
Wow.
He joined after a whole day of work. He would go to Peter's house, and they all get together talking. And one night he noticed that the conversation was not going the best way, it was not very productive. So he decided to take that moment to teach the lesson. And he started asking Peter, how you handle your affairs. You're a fisherman. What do fishermen do? Oh, we take the best fish. And then he goes on asking about the potter and about the carpenter. And they all say, and Peter kept answering, saying, we always find the best way, the best product, the best form for the
Mhm.
clay, and so forth. And Jesus said, so the same thing should happen to the home. Because, see, the home is where everything starts. That is like the factory, if you say so, of the people for the communities. If in your home you have a healthy and a harmonious environment, you will be able to project that to the community. So he starts saying that the same way, Peter, that God provides your table with some food for the body, you should provide for your family and your loved ones around the table the food for your soul. It will bring you happiness, it will bring you harmony. And he kept saying that, can you imagine if you cannot get along with the people in your home, the ones that share with you that mission that you have together, because we all, the spiritists, we know, and Jesus knew too, of course, that if you are put together in that family, you do have a mission to accomplish. You have things to work together. So if you cannot love the ones around you, Jesus continued saying, how can you love God? They're so far away. If you don't live a harmonious, with harmony in your family, how can you expect the nations to have harmony among them? So he said, so in this time, so he invited all the people from Peter's home, all the family, together around him. He opened uh, the teachings, the sacred texts, and start reading and discussing and meditating with it. And like that, that is how Jesus created the first meeting of the gospel at home.
That's yes. And you are talking about we are talking about this book. This book is Jesus in the Home by Chico Xavier and the Spirit Neo Lucio. It's right here. Ooh, because I am you all have different okay, I can see because I am in the blurry, but look, and it's available online. We highly, highly recommend to buy this book. And just little stories that enlighten us, that inspire us. You just want a little bit in the morning and you are not feeling good, you just want some words. And Michelle, I see that you have your book there too, and all of us, right? What do you think? Do you usually read this book? How?
We do.
Would you like to add anything?
Yes, and I would like to get dig right back on what Eloisa said about the harmony it creates in the house, right? The when you get the whole family together, and as a family, and I have two grown-up kids who live by themselves, and we get together virtually, right, through FaceTime, and we still do our gospel at home on Sunday at 8 p.m. Everybody together, and we do use this book to read, to use as our first message to open the meeting. So, and it does help. We, as a family, we have been through so many challenges. And if it was not for that family moment, share it with each other, I think life would be much harder. So it
Right?
is a moment for the family to connect to God, to Jesus, and the spirits who help us out in this incarnation.
Yeah. We have a friend, Daniel Assisi. Some of you know him, and he called Jesus the JC, right?
JC.
JC. It sounds so cool. Oh, we need more JC in the world. We really need more
I
JC.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree, Danielle. Right.
Yeah, I would like to add that
Mhm.
for us, the Spiritists, we have to remember that we did not coin the idea of gospel at home, because it seems like that we are only Spiritists to gospel at home. No, according to the story from Jesus in the home, Jesus started back there, and he told us, when two or more of you are united in my name, I'll be there. So when we do the gospel at home, Michelle has the three kids plus the husband plus the dogs. Uh, Bernadette has her family. I do by myself because I know that Jesus is going to be here with me at that time.
Absolutely.
And if not only Jesus, but my guardian angel. And depending on my moral vibration, my moral standards, I will attract much more wonderful spirits to be here with me, to inspire me, to learn together. So it's a dose of a great medicine.
Yeah. And when I do it, also, I have two cats. The
No,
cat's also learning and is listening about the words of Jesus and about moral and loving teachings. And since we are talking about this amazing book, and we'll have a special story, we don't have a lot of time today, and I'm teasing you like, go buy the book. Please do. You're going to love it. And then leave here some comments. Um, Eloisa, do you have a favorite story or one
yes,
story that you would
I
like to share with us?
I do, I do, I do, I do. That is
Tell
one
us.
called the secret charity. And
Ooh.
that was because, see, if you think about Jesus' teachings back there, he was
Mhm.
full of simplicity. He didn't tell you to go buy a whole library and you only have to do this thing if you have, if you're very smart and prepared. No, he told, gather your family, right?
Mhm.
So that is this one called the secret charity, and started in the book. It's chapter 20. The disciples were talking about, listen, if you don't have the money, you won't be able to help anybody. If you don't have the resources, you are lost. You cannot do any charity. And then Jesus comes with a beautiful story about this man that was poor, didn't have 2 cents to rub together, but he was told that, you need to do charity. You need to do something. You have to help the needy. You have to help the poor. And he knew he couldn't do it. And he was very sad about it. But then throughout his life, what he did, if somebody came in with some gossip, he would just change the conversation.
Mhm.
If somebody came to insult him, he would just realize that the person was not having a good day, turn the thing around, show him some fraternity, some kindness. If slander came around, he would find something good to talk about the people. If it was every time that something that came to him during his life, during his daily life, he changed things around. And the best part of the story for me is the one that when I start thinking about it, this is the one that I remember. He even took the pebbles and the sticks from the road not to hurt somebody's feet when they walked.
Wow.
So time passed and he died and he got to the divine tribunal and feeling very sad, very unsure of himself because he knew he did not do the big charity. And he was very surprised to find himself being crowned with lights. And when he questioned why, they said, because you took care of fighting the evil throughout your life with the small details. And Jesus uses that as the lesson saying, you don't need to have money, you don't need to have great resources, but you do have to have the heart to work every day in your daily life for uh, combating the evil around you. So I love the story because I think it's something that we can do every day.
Hmm.
I love it too. Wow. I know the story, and it touches my heart every day. The moment we wake up, we have the opportunity to do good.
Yeah.
We have the opportunity to change the world and do something better. Charity, and it's just smile,
Yeah.
right? At the grocery store, when we have the name, when we pass the cashier register, how's it going? Is everything
Yeah.
okay? Is
Hi,
everything okay?
Hello.
Hear that all
Hello,
the time,
Kevin. How
right?
are you?
And
Yeah.
I can help because I have a big mouth. Even if I don't talk, I just go like this, and the person looks, and I go, hi, Maria, hi, Tommy, hi, whatever name it is, or I say thank you very much, and then someone they look at you, I exist.
Hmm.
How many people feel invisible in the world? I'm a teacher, I'm an educator. We have a
Hmm.
lot of students that they feel invisible.
Yeah.
And, it's time for us to take action. And it's not only because Jesus told us, it's because if we put ourselves in somebody else's place,
Uh-huh.
we, we know how it is. We all been through a lot of challenges and feeling good when somebody helps. And now, talking about home, right? Michelle, you work with children, you work with the youth, you work with families, right?
Yes, I do.
And and we see the importance of the family in the foundation, as we mentioned here before. And the role of the family, among many roles that we have, it has a role of educating
Yes.
and regenerating. We always say this word regeneration.
Mhm.
It's kind of what it means. So, do you think you can talk a little bit before those two roles of family?
Yes, let me try to put this way. Well, I have been working with children for the past 35 years. I know I don't look like I have all these years of experience. I know, but yes, I work with children and children with special needs too for these past 35 years of my life. And I'd like to think that I learned some things through these experiences. I will start by the meaning of education
Mm,
and regeneration. Um,
yes.
as an educators, as an educator, I need props.
And I'm a visual learner,
Me too. So I
right,
need
Elisa?
things
I
to
need to
happen.
see. I got it, girl. I got it.
All right. So, according to the dictionary.com, education means the act of giving knowledge to someone and receiving knowledge from someone. So, giving and receiving. It also refers to schooling. But because of our theme today related to family and Jesus and Spiritism, we'll focus on the act of giving and receiving knowledge. Regeneration, on the other side, according to the Merriam-Webster.com dictionary, regeneration means the action of forming or creating something. In biology, regeneration means replacing or restore a lost body part. So let's focus on the acting of giving and receiving knowledge and the lost part. Got lost somewhere in these years. Now, let's put the education, regeneration, and their meanings together with spiritism, families, and gospel at home.
All right.
So, uh, I invite you to take just a few seconds because we don't have a lot of time to think what have changed through the years, through these decades. What have we lost as families throughout these years? Until five, and you think, you brainstorm things. Think about your family, your parents, your relatives, right? And your family nowadays, your children and children you that are around you. One, two, three, four, five. We
Mhm.
must agree that we have lost a lot. We gain it, and we'll talk
Mhm.
about this later, but we have lost a lot,
Yes.
right? So um, these changes are due to the planetary transition our planet is going through. Spirits incarnating, a different order of spirits incarnating, some others discarnating, some others have an opportunity to be here for the last times, right? So it feels sometime and looks like a big mess. Sometimes we are scared, we are frightened by the news, everything that's going on around the world. But we need to remind ourselves that if not a leaf, a single leaf falls from a tree without God's permission, nothing that's going on right now is out of control, right? Even the difficulties we go through as a family. All
Mm-hmm.
right. And this, get out of my mind. I got it from Divaldo on the book. Let me show you. It's called Vivências do Amor em Família. I don't know if it's translated to English.
Mm-hmm.
If we want to translate the title, it would be something like Experiences of Love in Family. And in this book, he says that this transition has been more intense since the 50s. That's why we see all these things going on right now around us, all these news. So we see a tremendous, that's the gain, we see a tremendous progress in science, right, in technology,
Right.
in medicine, right? But we also see, unfortunately, or it's part of the process, an increase on violence, on intolerance, in all these in these areas, right? Uh, um, Corruption in politics, and that's all around the world. All right, so families wouldn't be out of this progress of these changes because even though we are a family, we are individuals, we have our different moral involvement, right? Things we like to do and not. So not always we agree on everything. All right. Any questions, Bernadette? Anything to say?
Not yet.
No.
I'm
What?
gonna.
What?
You are in a row.
All right. So what?
You're in a row. So we're
What?
getting there.
As educators and psychologists and researchers in this area of family subjects, what do we see? An increase on parents being very busy, right?
Right.
Some because they need to meet means for the family, their basic means for the family. But we also see some going above and beyond to get more and more and more and more. Meanwhile, their kids are at home ruling the place. They're excited what the family is going to eat, when they're going out, if they are going to school, what time they will wake up.
Mm-hmm.
See, as an educator, you probably see that too, right,
I
Bernadette?
see, and I see that more and more children and families they don't have any meals together. When was the last time? Everybody has different schedule, right?
Exactly.
So make time to connect with your family. Make time. My husband and I have different schedules. but at least we say once a week on the weekend, please. We need to sit down. We need together. Otherwise, I tell him, I say, "Hi, roommate."
Yeah,
And your life's passing through,
Yeah,
yeah. But when you have children and young
and
children,
it's getting even more important to
teenagers,
connect everybody at one point.
we do. And because of the family dynamic, the life dynamic, people are getting separate. They live in the
yes.
same house, but they are completely disconnected. Not to mention social media and electronics, they get in between and take everybody's attention from each other, right? So, and then because these parents are out there most of the time, the kids are in daycare, and I'm not saying that in some cases this is a necessity,
Necessary.
Right, right. We
right?
are not judging. These are
We are
facts,
not judging, this is just a fact,
observations.
right? And we also have to think that it's not that amount of time you spend together, but it's the quality of that time you spend together. Because if you're at home, buzzing your child's ear, nagging them all the time, it's much better that you were gone, working the whole day long, and that child said that they care, being getting some other different positive attention, if
Yeah.
at least that. So what we see is that these parents start developing a guilty feeling for being gone, and they want to be buddies with their children.
The parent friend. Oh, I'm your friends. I'm your friend. Parents are not friend.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I would say I raise my children saying, I am your friend. I want you to come to me when you are in trouble, when you have a problem. We can be friends. I could be your best friend, but before that, I'm your mother.
It
Hmm.
has to have
Right?
the
The balance.
yeah.
Yes, I have responsibilities. I
Exactly.
want to go back to the real life over there. And when they ask me, Michelle, what have you done to the children we trust you with? I want to
Mhm.
tell them I did my best instead
Right.
of I did everything they wanted,
Mhm. And
right?
besides, you're not doing anything to help that spirit, because remember, that child is a spirit
Is the spirit. A
and
millennium.
needs guidance, because they put in your hands while they're still little for you to guide them. But then they have to have the parameters to be able to be a full citizenship of the world, right? Citizens of the world. I mean,
Exactly. So we can be friends, but we cannot neglect our parenthood. It's our responsibility. So children don't make decisions. They can decide what outfit they will wear that day. But it's pretty much it. You can do nothing much. So what happened? We lost that uh, um, that figure of authority, right? They respect the children, don't see their parents, the adults, the educators. I have 3 4 year olds who challenge my authority,
Oh, tell me about it.
right?
I know exactly what it is. Oh my God, don't even
Why,
start.
Miss Michelle, why do I have to listen to you? Hello,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So we lost all this because of our conflicts, right? Our internal conflicts, and that uh, wish of being our kids' friends, making them happy. God forbid I say no to my child and make them upset. They will throw a fit in the grocery store.
Oh my gosh, right now, a lot of parents and probably educators, teachers can relate to you. But I love everything that you were saying. And how is it that doing the gospel at home can help with this educational part?
Well, first of all, as parents, it's our responsibility to bring our children to Jesus, close to Jesus, especially if you're a Christian, right? Regardless of the religion, the philosophy we follow, if you're a Christian, and Jesus expects us to guide our children towards Him.
Hmm.
How? Teaching them Jesus' morals, the moral lessons that we find on the Jesus in the Home and so many other books.
Or the New Testament or whatever,
Whatever you have available that talks about Jesus' moral lessons,
and,
because
make it accessible to the kids too. And because
exactly.
you do it the on a weekly basis, it will bring Jesus close to them. Will become like their friend. There is not somebody that is so high up that you don't see it, you
Hmm.
don't feel it, you don't know it's there, but it's bringing to that everyday common. You become comfortable in talking about Jesus. In you take away your shyness when you talk about, because we are very sorry for interrupting, Michele, but you are very comfortable in giving opinions to everything else. When it comes to religion, when it comes to Jesus, to morals, you are shy. And having the gospel at home with the family, with the kids, with everybody else, will give them the confidence to be able to express themselves whenever the situation arises in a very productive way, not just in a shy way, because uh, we need these we need to be exposed to these situations that you can express yourself and show what you believe, and you get that from these meetings with the gospel at home, the weekly thing, because the weekly meeting, because you get to discuss if it's well done, if it's done in a proper way. It will foster this understanding and this confidence to all the members in the family to talk about it.
Mhm.
Yes. You were
So,
saying about Jesus, and Michelle was saying about Jesus. I can have to see the little doll there in the back, right? I
oh,
have
my
one
baby
too.
Jesus over there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I have mine too.
I have to. If you
yeah.
knew it, I would bring here so we all saw it.
We are all spiritist educators as well.
I know, I
So I
know.
have one here. I have one for the spiritist lessons at the center, and I have one at my school because it's a religious
Yes,
school.
yes.
Yeah, so Jesus is everywhere. So
I do.
children they
Hmm.
need.
Jesus is like the elf in the shelf. He's always
That's
there.
it.
Well, with the elf, they are very tricky.
Yeah,
There's
This
all
is the
these
good
mischievous
news.
names.
too.
Jesus is the JC is a much better elf in the
Oh,
shelf.
yeah. So
Some people,
children need attention. They need love. They need um, to spend time with friends and family. But what else do they need? They need someone to bring them close to Jesus. They need to be taught um, responsibilities, right? For their actions, their choices. When we
Empathy.
start teaching the law of cause and effect, when they're very little, right? So they need someone who teach them empathy.
empathy.
Empathy is a learned emotion. We are not born with that. So we need to set the example for them to follow. Take your children to do charity. Teach them how to help an old lady pick up something she dropped it on the floor. That's empathy, right? So we need, and when can we learn and when can we learn discuss all of this? The gospel at home is a great time, a great moment to get the family together. Is it easy? Not always, especially if you have a teenager. Trust me, not always. But that's when it comes the parents' authority.
And by the
I-
way, don't worry, because we will have all these lives, and we'll
exactly.
have a specific one just to know how to do the gospel at home with a child, how to do this with our youth and teenagers that we know is tricky. We will empower you how to do this. We will teach you some of the steps. So hang in there, because it gets easier, but just don't give up.
The
That's why
next
I didn't
next
explain.
chapters. Pay attention to the next
I
chapters,
I
guys.
just mentioned to pull, like the little bug behind everybody's ears.
Hmm.
So as we bring, because Jesus is counting on us, parents, to guide these children through his pedagogy of love. to be functional human beings, active members of the society who will help in this process of the planet. And these children, on their term, will pass on to their children, and generations to come will be responsible for turning this beautiful planet in a much nice, oh, I got the goosebumps, a much
Good thing.
prettier and, amazing planet to live, the planet of regeneration.
And
So
and to think that it's not a coincidence that these children, oh, not the children, we are all here at this time, in the time of the regeneration, it's not by accident. We chose that is something for us to do. And one of the things that we can do to make sure that we have a good foundation is to do the gospel at home, because that will bring, harmony to your environment. And it kind of it's a multiplying situation, because if you harmonize your home, you are helping the people around you with the good vibrations. Anybody that comes to your home, or if you go and you carry it with you, see how many, it's a multiplying effect, because you are affecting somebody else that will be on their plane, on their time, affecting another somebody's, right? If you can say it like that. So it's all starting with that little 15-20 minute time in your
Little
home.
light. Start with
Yes.
the light.
Andrea Luis tells us and that caused me to go like, and you hear that a lot. But the other day I was reading this, and he said he was with his companions, and he was visiting a home of a lady that was doing the gospel home, and he was impressed to see how she radiated light because of her seriousness, because of her commitment to that moment, and he said that light kind of expanded, and we know that. So who doesn't want to have that light?
Right. And Jesus is a light in our home. Actually, as part of the Sembradores, I work with the children's, I coordinate the children's department. And I invite you, if you want to do this volunteer work, it's online. We create materials, beautiful material with projects, lessons, you name it. And we do need, we are talking about volunteering, right, Michelle? So join me. Okay, that's a call, and there is no coincidence. But what I want to share is one of my passions is writing, and I love to write plays. And I wrote one is like the Dusty Jesus, and it's a great play. It's all free. You go online and you find, and you would just now Jesus is sitting there in the living room, and a lot of things are happening, and every time they ignore Jesus, there is a veil, that you put over Jesus, and he's there because nobody pays attention. He's getting all the dust, and we forget until
very
the play something major happens, and the girl is on her knees. What am I gonna do? And then suddenly she looks and she sees all the dusty Jesus there. And that's when she remembers, oh my God, help me. And she starts to connect with Jesus. The veil starts coming off. Don't we all have dusty Jesus sometimes? Take a look. Why do we only have to remember that when there is some challenges and problems, right?
or during Christmas time.
Yes.
That's another time during Christmas time,
Right.
right? So because Jesus is popping, Christmas spirit is popping everywhere. At our school, we sing a song to the children. I mean, I'm awful singing, so excuse me, Bernadette, excuse me my singing,
Do
and
it.
everyone else
Do
too.
it.
But the lines go like this: someone is knocking at your door. Someone is knocking at your door. Oh, oh, children, why don't you answer? Someone is knocking at your door. Jesus is knocking at your door. Jesus is knocking at your door. Oh, oh, children, why don't you answer? Jesus is knocking at your door.
Oh,
Open the door and let him in. Open the door and let him in. Oh, oh, children, why don't you answer? Open the door and let him in. So I invite everybody to invite Jesus in. Choose a time, right? A day, I don't know, and invite him in. Make him part of your family as a family member. Nowadays, we are so concerned about our physical health. We need to eat properly. We need to exercise. We need to meditate for mental health. What
Which is
about
good.
which is good? It's perfect. We need that. Remember,
Uh-huh.
the body is the temple of our soul. We
Yeah.
need that. But we cannot forget, especially as spiritists, that we are a spiritual being living a material life. We need to take care of our soul as well, and of those who are under our guidance.
And I
That
have the perfect line for that. Emmanuel, in the foreword of the book Jesus in the Home, he said that when the gospel enters the home, the soul opens the door to Jesus more easily.
See?
no.
Open that door, people. Open that door.
Okay.
And to
I
make it,
I was reading that sentence today. Oh my God!
I
Really,
know
Tracy?
because
I,
it is the sentence in that
it
whole
is.
forward.
It's
And Joanna
summarized.
de Angelis tells us also that bring the gospel into your home is to bring Jesus to your life, and Jesus will bring life to your home.
Exactly. All right.
Oh my
So
God!
I propose that now we wrap up. Do I still have time?
Yes,
That we wrap up
we
all
have like
those
five
stuff?
more minutes for our closing
Okay.
comments.
So one, two, three, go. So let's wrap up all these thoughts that I put out there, and
Right.
let's think about what have we lost through the years,
Mm-hmm.
right? We lost our time together as a family, right? The time that we could bond more, and this for this we require regeneration. Remember that lost body part? So that lost important piece of our family that we have lost. So we
Mm-hmm.
have to regenerate there. But what did we gain over the years? Children got a voice. We learned that it's an exchange. It's a educational process. We teach
Right.
them, but we also learn from them. It's
Mm-hmm.
not because they're children, they don't have their own opinions, that they don't have their own feelings. Us from back generations, right? We didn't have a chance to say something, right? Or to express our thoughts and feelings. We gained that through the years. And
Remember that it used to say, the saying used to go, children must be seen, not heard.
yeah, so now, and remembering that it's not because they are children, they could be a more evolved, moral evolved spirit than the parents. So they're there to teach, and therefore is the educational process. All right. So through the gospel at home, like we said,
The eternal teacher. Let's go.
we can educate and regenerate ourselves and our families. It's that moment that we have to read the messages and to read and discuss the messages that our mentors brought to us at that time, at that for that moment, right? That's the chance for each of us, each family member, to think about their role in the family, right?
Yep.
It's a moment of bonding under Jesus' spotlight. It can't be better than that, right?
Absolutely.
Remembering also that we teach by example. More,
Yes.
actions speak louder than examples. So let's insist doing the gospel at home. Let's insist teaching our children to develop empathy, charity, right?
Right.
And we will be at least lighter, feel lighter
Oh
in
yeah.
this life.
And we will be in the right path.
Thank
Yes.
you,
Yeah.
Michelle. Now, Eloisa, do you have any final comments for us before we close this amazing chat here that we
After
had?
all this lesson that we just got,
Oh no.
yeah, but just Michelle is in the right path
Mm-hmm.
because involving the family in this endeavor We will help them learn forgiveness, the good feelings, the forgiveness, the empathy, the patience, because uh, it's not easy to live in a community. Remember, the family is the smallest cell of a society, and Jesus told us, right? This is where from here is what everything starts. So, with a good prayer, with a sensitive, with your heart, with your mind, not just doing just because it's an obligation. Get the kid together. Okay, we have 10 minutes. Let's do it. Okay, and then we have to watch the game, or we have to watch the show, or we have to watch the movie. No, take that time to really, if it's 10 or 15 minutes you have, concentrate in those 10, 15 minutes. But do it with your heart, with intention, knowing that you're not alone, knowing that not only the incarnated in your home, but the discarnated also. They were all among that. We are all around this. We are all under this big protection of this big harmonious protection. And with that in mind, when we do the gospel at home, we have to have this certainty that we are in communion with a higher place. And being that higher place is the one that's going to help us get to be a better person. Because every time you are in contact with something above you, you are trying to reach for it and you are going to get that. And that is the purpose. We are put in this earth to progress, to get better. And the gospel at home is the perfect tool to help us reach for that higher goal. And it's right here in our hands. We can do it.
And it's easy, it's free, doesn't cost you anything. And we can,
And create such goodness in your
right?
home. The benefits are so great
Right.
that you should not give up that opportunity for the
Absolutely.
benefits that you can reap, but
Yeah,
just by doing it.
just put on hold your binging watching your show for 2 hours because we get hooked on the show. I want to know what's going to happen. And suddenly you are sitting the whole afternoon, watching 3 episodes, four, and all we asking is a few minutes to pause and bring Jesus to your life. So, friends that you are there at home, we hope that this little chat here that we had today inspired you, brought light. I know is bringing light to your life, to your spirit, bringing Jesus, the big JC. My daughter, when she was young, she used to say, "Mom, you always talk about that dude with long hair and beard."
Yeah.
I go, "That's a good dude." Okay, if you want to call dude. She says, yes, what else? I remember one day before my dog died, she had the Bible for children, and what are you doing? It says, my dog needs Jesus. She was reading as she was little. I love it. So everybody needs the Jesus. The Jesus, JC, whatever. So, friends, let's do it. Give it a try. Watch
It's
this
easy. It's
live.
easy. You start. It's not easy to start. Anything that you start is not very easy because it's takes you away from your norm.
Hmm.
But make it a norm. Start, and you see that it's gonna be something that is gonna be life changing.
Exactly. All right, so we came to the end. 50 minutes of this amazing chat, this conversation, and I love, I love everything I hear. And thank you so much, Eloisa, Michelle.
Thank
Now
you.
you're in trouble because we're going to be inviting you again to do this more often, all right?
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. God bless you until we
Awesome.
see each other again.
All
Bye.
right.
Oh, and
Bye.
follow us, Sembradores, right?
Yes,
Lose your
thank
heart.
you.
Bye.
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 Bye bye.